Hey y'all, welcome back to Almost Heaven Homestead. This is episode 4 of
What's Going On?
So before we go on our walk today, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on right now. Over the past few weeks, we've had a mini summer, high 80s, 65 in the evenings, and so we had probably at least a 14-day stretch of that. So we got all of our warm season crops in, our tomatoes, our peppers, everything is pretty much in now. Well, guess what's getting ready to happen? You guessed it, another cold front. Not tonight, but the next 2 nights. Its high is only going to be maybe 70, and it's going to be very cold at night, 42, 41 degrees, clear skies. So it makes me a little bit nervous. Last time it was 41 degrees, y'all know what happened. My jugs got frostbitten really bad. However, I don't think we're going to drop down to that 28-degree mark. I've really never heard of that happening here in June. Believe it or not, yes, it is June. Doesn't feel like it, but here we are. There are some precautions I'm going to take. So how I'm going to do this today is I'm going to show you what's growing, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to make sure things keep growing. Here we are at the world's easiest potato patch. Seriously, ever. Getting ready to have some flowers on some of these. But as you look out here, the potatoes have just really taken off. I still have a few stragglers coming in here, my purple potatoes. There's one there, another one pushing up through the hay. But most of them have been up for a couple weeks now. And so what I'm going to do to make sure that they keep growing is I'm going to take a bunch of this hay, and I'm really going to pile it up nestle it really close to the top around here. Things have to get pretty cold for potatoes to be damaged. It has to be down to that 28-degree mark. So I think we will be okay if I just pile on some more hay. I was talking about, I still have my sweet meat squash down in there. It has completely recovered. I'll show you a picture here in a minute on what it looked like before. It has completely recovered. All the frostbitten leaves are gone, and now we're ready for another one, I guess. I'll just throw a sheet over top of this. So here is a winter sown, actually both of these are 2 winter sown peppers that have fully recovered from their, the cat is crawling up my back. How lovely. Hey Dash, are you mad because I'm not talking to you? Okay, let's keep going on. So these 2 winter sown sweet peppers have fully recovered, and so what I'll do when it's going to get that cold is just take these black potting pots. We have tons and tons and tons of them, and I'll just throw them over top that evening, and then we'll take them off in the morning. I'll do that to my peppers, and I'll be doing it to my really small tomatoes. Some of them are smaller than others, so let's go check out some of the ones that are doing really well. So my winter sown tomatoes, and if you guys remember, these were also very much frost damaged. I lost probably 8 out of 16, so I lost half, but the ones that have survived look really good. We've had a lot, and I mean a lot of rain. Like everyone I've talked to in the gardening world has kind of been saying that there's been so much rain. So despite all the rain, they're doing okay. I cannot wait until they grow and get big enough so I can attach them to the trellises. Another pepper over here looks good. My borage that's self-seeded is just growing and growing. The calendula is looking great, and the sunflower. And with this stuff, guys, I'm probably not going to cover it. If I have enough black pots, I will cover my calendula. But the most important things right now to me are those warm weather crops, my tomatoes and peppers that I want to do well. So here is a Sweet Million cherry tomato. I am going to pinch off these flowers because with that cold weather coming, there's just no need for the flower to even think about doing anything. It will probably drop anyway, so I'm going to save it the hassle. So again, I just want to show you, this is that winter sown tomato that I didn't even know if when I planted it if it was going to survive because they were so tiny up to there. frost damaged leaves everywhere, and look at it now. It's looking good. So are the weeds. Weeds grow despite everything. So just wanted to show you this to encourage you guys. I was feeling kind of down last week because things just seemed sad out here. You have to have faith though. To be a gardener, faith is essential, and hope. So faith, hope, and a little love go a long way out in the garden. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cucumber plants. These 6 we bought from a local greenhouse, and the one down there at the bottom is one of the ones I direct sowed and put half of one of those water jugs on top of it. So it is coming along. Yes, it's behind the others, but I'm just really proud of that cucumber. I have the hardest time getting cucumbers to germinate. I don't know why. I will try my best to cover these as well with possibly just big blocks of hay pushed over on the side, and then maybe I'll take a sheet where I have the trellis here and I can kind of cover them all. That's kind of what I plan to do around this whole row. I do have some beans coming up here. For some reason the beans on this side of the trellis aren't doing so hot. Having some issues with pests, and then I think I'm getting a little rust or something over here. I've had to pinch off some leaves. I don't grow beans a whole lot, so I'm not, it's only my second year growing them. Last year they didn't have any issues besides getting chomped on by a rabbit. So if you can help me out with these beans, what do I do when they start getting yellow and getting those little rust spots on them? I would appreciate it. Let's go check out the other side so you can see the difference. Here's the beans on the other side. Can you tell the difference? They look a whole lot better. No rust. We have a little bit of damage over here. I would imagine slugs, just the way that it's eaten out here. And the other day when I came, there were snails around the bottom here that I had to get. Oh look, there is snail now in a new bean sprout. Here is another new bean sprout. I just love watching them come out of the ground. It's like life itself. It is the sweetest thing to watch. And what you see down here around the bottom is what's called wool pellets. So I'm trying that out. I will show you guys what I did with that a few days ago. The fight against slug continues. I found this stuff online. The reviews on it are great, but it's super expensive. But there are a couple plants that I only got one of, and so I'm gonna, and you can see here there's some slug damage. This is my Long Island cheese pumpkin, and I wanna make sure that it stays alive. My ruby red lettuce is ready to harvest. It's starting to get just a touch bitter, so I'm going to harvest that tomorrow. We're going to have a cookout, and that will be wonderful to eat that up. In its place, I'm going to put what's over here in the milk jug, which really needs to get in the ground, which is some parsley. So here are the 4 rows of corn that have germinated. It's looking pretty good. I'm having a few things come chomp on it. It could be possibly what John and I found hiding in these leaves the other day. I have to show you what we found. I could not believe it. There is a baby snapping turtle in the garden. Don't you see it? See with the tail on that leaf? It blends right in with the leaf. Let me see. Oh my goodness.
I didn't think his eyes were open.
Well, he was moving. I heard him. That's probably, I was out here the other day and I heard the leaves. I bet it was him. Seriously, who has a snapping turtle in their garden? I hope we can find him. We turned around to do something else and he was gone like that. As I was researching about them, they are omnivores, so they do eat meat, which is great because they eat slugs and things, but they will also eat corn seedlings, bean seedlings, all kinds of stuff. So I do need to relocate him as soon as possible. So hopefully I can find him in the next day or two. So what I'm gonna do, probably not this evening, but tomorrow evening, is put micro mesh out here and cover this. Micro mesh will not protect from a frost, which I don't think we'll get, but I will put some kind of, some blankets over top of it, not completely over it, but over some of it to hold heat in. I also think it will help with whatever's been chomping on my corn. Like, look at this over here. Here's a Long Island cheese pumpkin that I'll have go in between the corn rows down here. I have those wool pellets around this, and it seems to really, it's had no slug damage whatsoever, and it's right next to the tall grass where I can see the slugs push in and they'll come in, and it has no slug damage whatsoever. Actually, it looks beautiful. These will be ready soon. Actually, these sugar snap peas are really going to appreciate the colder weather, I think. They have just been stunted this year. Look at that. Last year they climbed all the way past the top. This year they can't get off the ground. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the heat, the 85 degrees, 86. It was just so hot there for about a week or so. But yeah, if they don't start doing any better, I'm going to pull them soon and get my summer squash in here. So here's a winter sown watermelon, another one here, and two more down there. They had frost damage as well, and they seem to be popping out of it. I'm not crazy about their color. They're not too green. But after this cold spell, I'll be starting my seaweed fertilizer that I do with the foliar spray. And hopefully that will help these guys perk up and really start growing up this trellis here soon. Some more squash. There's one right here. It seems to be doing okay, but the one over here on the other side really is doing quite a bit better. It's taller anyway. What do you think, Dash? Does it smell good? Anyway, so I will cover these as well with either the black pots, or I'll take some kind of cover and kind of wrap it around with some hay and then put a cover over top of it. Dash, you know, you've really been getting in my way, buddy. Don't walk on the watermelon. Can you even see it? There's a tomato there. Remember those tomatoes I showed you at the beginning? How they're about, 7-8 inches tall. Well, this is how they looked when they started out. We transplanted these, the rest of the winter sown milk jug tomatoes, just a few days ago. And they're still tiny. They still have some frost damage, as you can see. I haven't pinched it back because I haven't seen a whole lot of new growth yet. So I definitely have to baby these when the cold weather comes, because they are barely hanging on. If they don't make it, I'm gonna have to go back to the greenhouse. So my black-seeded Simpson lettuce from M.I. Gardner has just done beautifully. I will always grow this in that ruby red lettuce. It seems to do well in this heavier clay soil, and with all the pests that come against it. The slugs really have not been bothered by it. Here's that raised bed I showed you guys in the last video. My watermelon's doing okay. No new slug damage. Look, my Tommy Apple melons from Baker's Creek have sprouted. I'm so excited about those. I will probably move one of them over there, or I may just leave it. I don't think it matters too much. So the other day we had to come out here and tie rope around this blueberry because these were just almost hanging to the ground. So we gave them a little bit more support so they'll be able to not have so much stress on their canes. The girls are loving the honeysuckle right now. They are all over it. Thanks for taking a walk with me this evening and checking things out. I wish you all the best no matter where you're at, and I hope y'all come back.